we go.
Burn it. My lungs are burning. That's right. Rain dance. Rain dance. Titty white chocolate. Raindrops. Old school. T. Come on. I'm burning. My lungs are burning. That's right.
Man.
Rain dance.
White
Rain
chocolate.
dance. Titty white chocolate. Raindrops.
Can't hit the front
Oh,
side. I love it. What is going on, friends? Welcome to the show. You got a signed DJT MAGA hat now. That would be dope. Hey, you guys. Stony Bones first tonight. My man showing up second. Sooner Man Trace. Welcome. KJB. Alphabet Agency is going down for the Puff Daddy. We'll talk about it. In the house, Oscar Zachariah, John Cresson from California. Do not drive a Prius. Nope. Never will. Darren Collins, Shogun, Troy Man, Akira, Just Mike, Daniel. Yeah, sorry for the Eagles. Not really. I'm glad they lost. But, you know, it was tough. That was tough. I felt a little bad for you. Hero, CJ Yukon, Agent Orange, Frank Anastasio, Coopers, Kryptonian. Let's change the markets, baby. Pat Shigoya, no IPA for Akira tonight. A little sad, but that's okay. Sometimes you got to take a break. Old Fine, Stella, Big JR with Scott Volkovich. So, video of you playing ball. Is that you? Time out. What's up, Sasquatch? That part of the movie is so funny. And then whoever put this on here, this just cracks me up. That's my highlight video. How dare you? I was a baller back in the day, and I was damn good. It's one of the things I'm very proud of, was my basketball acumen back in the day. So tonight, guys, we got some stuff to talk about. I'll just leave this playing in the background. It's hilarious. Diddy, holy smokes. This whole thing's blowing up. I know he got arrested last night. I'm late to the party, blah, 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 blah. But all the connections are starting to come out today. The depth of this. And then, of course, tomorrow's rate cut day. Rate cut day. The glorious holiday they've all been waiting for so long to happen. Let me put this on a funny picture. I'll try to catch him. There we go. Anyways, rate cut day. What are they going to do? What are the effects going to be? How high will they go? Will Powell stick to 25, which I'm telling you is what he wants? Will he give into pressure, do 50 or above, and really make things crazy? Who knows? But tomorrow's the day. The craziest thing of all would be no rate cut or a raise, and I don't think there's any way we see either of those. But it's good for us, because what's going on with those rate cuts, man, it is going to start the volatility in the markets. And that, my friends, could really start hurting short sellers, especially trapped ones like in Finger, DJT, GDC, so on and so forth. So that's exciting. Get ready for that. But so we got a lot to talk about tonight. And then, of course, tomorrow, please mark it. I have my interview with Buzz Patterson tomorrow. I think this is going to be absolutely awesome. Massive for me to get a name like him. He's a big deal. Been around 25 years in conservative media, and best-selling books, especially his first one, Dereliction of Duty, New York Times bestseller. Behind the scenes with the Clinton administration. Just an awesome guy, and I cannot wait to interview this guy. He has got so many crazy stories about behind the scenes with the Clintons, understanding what was going on with the Obamas. It's his connections to the military still are very strong. He carried the nuclear football for Bill Clinton. Guys, that is crazy. That is the briefcase that has the nuclear codes in it that you can detonate and blow up the world from. He carried it for 2 years for Bill Clinton. So I am stoked to have him on tomorrow. That should be is scheduled for 9 o'clock unless Buzz has to switch anything. So, but as of right now, that'll be at 9 o'clock tomorrow night Eastern time. So I'm very excited about that. Is it true that driving a Prius is gay? I mean, you tell me. it's liberal at the least. I mean, I'm sure there's a few conservatives out there who drive them for whatever reasons. They haven't fully dropped their balls yet. But other than that, yeah, good times. So, Dubois, what's up, brother? How you doing tonight? Good to see you, man. I hope you're feeling well. Brett Montgomery says, Diddy, Your Honor, I was only on the island with Epstein, R. Kelly, Hillary, Bill, Harvey Weinstein, and a few others. Was there a problem with that? Does Buzz know Monica? That's a great question. I'll have to ask him tomorrow. I don't know if he knows Monica, but he was there when the Monica Lewinsky scandal broke, and he has all the dirt on what happened between the Clintons during that time, including, I believe, he has said that Hillary didn't speak to Bill for a year. So I can't wait to get some more from that. Yes, it's very gay, says CJ Yukon. Will Bareback Obama come to Diddy's rescue? Somebody might. But let's start with the rate cuts, okay? Let's talk about the rate cuts to start, and then we're going to get into the Diddy madness, because the Diddy stuff is going to get highly speculative at times. So I got a lot of interesting things on that, but there's also going to be some speculation, so we'll save that for the second big story. But tomorrow, Fed decision will be historic. This is a Kobisi letter, one of the best places to follow on Twitter for stock market and economy analysis. Market has never been so uncertain about a Fed interest rate decision in at least 15 years. That's wild. That goes back to 08, 09, when the economy was a disaster, falling apart, and they didn't know what to do. And so that was when nobody knew what was going to happen. What's the Fed going to do to try to bail us out, to help everything? And so it's a big deal. Tomorrow, I would say, is the most highly anticipated Fed rate cut in history. Why do I say that? Well, more people are paying attention now than ever before. So that's number one. Number two, this has been an economy where the inflation, because of the massive government spending, we haven't quite seen the effects on the economy as bad and as it should be yet. They're kicking that can down the road. So this is the first time in history we've gone through a cycle like this where things got pumped up and stayed up during the pain. We didn't have that big crash yet. We haven't had that big fall yet for them to correct it. And so everybody's watching this rate cut because everybody also knows it's getting scary out there. And they need to know what's going to happen because nobody knows what to do going forward yet. And so everybody's watching this rate cut. The businesses, the banks, the traders, they are watching this closer than they ever have before because they're scared out of their minds. Which way do we go? And they're hoping against hope that Powell is just going to do it all for them and stop caring about the rest of the economy, which is not going to happen. But they again, the other part is that you have a bunch of retail people like myself, you guys, watching this with bated breath in a way that we've never watched before. Nobody's ever cared about this before on such a large scale. So this will be the most important, interesting rate cut of all time. And that's a big thing to say. That's a big statement, but I believe it's 100% correct. If the Fed cuts by 25 basis points, it would mark the largest surprise seen since 2008 by a wide margin. Why? Because they're not ready for it. They want 50. They want 75. On the other hand, if the central bank cuts by 50, it would mark the largest surprise since 2009. Why? How could that also be a surprise? Because that's what everybody wants, but nobody thinks they're going to get. So both ways, you're getting this big surprise. Fed has strived to avoid market surprises using its speeches forward guidance since early 2000s. In other words, the Fed does not like to do something other than what it says it's going to do. That, my friends, is where Powell finds himself stuck in this rock and a hard place. He wants to be considered completely apolitical. He wants to be considered. His hero is Paul Volcker. This has been come out about Powell multiple times in the last decade. He loves Paul Volcker. He feels like he can fix this situation, and he also does not want to create the same mistake that Volcker did the first time when Volcker cut too much too soon and made inflation worse in the late 70s before correcting with Reagan. But because they cut early in 1979, 1980, they cut early when inflation wasn't tame enough yet and spiked it. That's why in the 80s they had to have interest rates as high as 18%. 18%! Can you even imagine that? So that is why Powell has held on so long trying to keep this interest rate, and he has really been wanting to make sure it turns because he does not want to make the same mistake Volcker did the first time. And could you imagine if inflation goes nuts because they lower too fast too soon and they have to start raising that rate to 7, 8, 10? That, my friends, will collapse our economy the way it is right now, which I think is coming anyways. But that would make it even more clear it's happening. Now, no matter the outcome, a significant part of the market will be disappointed. Has the Fed made a big communication error? The biggest error he made was last December, making that victory speech, and everybody now priced in 7 rate cuts for this year. And guess what? It's September, month number 9, and we haven't had a single rate cut yet. In fact, there's only 2 FOMC meetings left the rest of the year, I believe, this month and November. There might be one in December, actually. So maybe it's 3. But either way, at best, they get 3 rate cuts, down from 7. That's absolutely crazy. So not what the market expected at all. So, all right. By the way, guys, please, hey, like, share, subscribe. Move this along. If you follow me on Twitter, you know, I'd really appreciate if you reposted this, get it out there, and share my channel. You know, I have a very devoted fan base, and I believe that's because you guys like what I do, and so I'd like to keep it spreading. Spread the love, get it out there. But please, again, like, share, subscribe, all that good stuff. And if you're new, welcome. We do this 4 nights a week, sometimes 5, and go through the news the best way I know how, which is honest and without the media hype. All right, let's keep moving here. All right, this is pretty fascinating by Zero Hedge, and I'm really glad they put this out. This is the last 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 cuts. Wait, 8 cuts back to 1984. So the Volcker cuts after correcting the inflation of the 80s. And you see, in the 80s and 90s, when the economy was booming thanks to Reaganomics, they would cut and they beat inflation. And so what happened? All the way through 98, no inflation, no recession came within a year, and the SPY was up. S&P 500 was up within the next 3 months, 6 months, and a year. Significantly up. Okay, 1, 9, 14, that first one, 2, 6, 14. I mean, up. And now we get to the 2000s. What's different in the 2000s? Now we're fully in Keynesian economics. Okay, that is, we don't care about debt, government pumping, all that. We're fully in this area now. And what happens? Now when they cut, look at this huge rate cut in January of 01. This is right after the NASDAQ crashed. They cut, recession within 12 months, and then negative 18, negative 8, negative 12% within a year. September 07, first rate cut, 50. Recession hit, negative 3 months, negative 3%, negative 11%, negative 18%. This is the outlier. Why is July 19th under Trump an outlier? Because the economy was booming. This recession right here, that's the COVID recession. It's a fake recession. Never should have happened. It was implemented by the government, by blue states, created this recession in the U.S. And that's why they got the recession, but the S&P 500 still was up within a year. So that's how we got to look at it. We have no recessions, stock market up. We have yes recessions, stock market way down. And then we have the weird COVID year, which we can't really learn anything from. So if I'm a betting man, I'm saying 01 and 07 are much more like this one's going to look like. Guys, we're basically on recession now. A guy on CNBC today said he believed the recession started this month. CNBC is now saying it. It's now becoming mainstream to say we're in a recession. This is happening right now. And when you rate cut in a recession, this is what happens in the stock market. That's the data from the last 50 years. So, do what you want, 40 years, I should say. But this goes back even further, but this is the last 40 years. So pretty interesting stuff. What's going on in this chat? I see a lot of laughing, but I don't get it. Tom, you're in Oregon, not the Discord. Oh my God, that's funny. Get in the Discord, Thomas. You'll enjoy that. Oscar, after all the speculation, I'm looking forward to see what the actual rate cut will be. Me too. And I'm really interested to see what the market will do right away, because you just never know. Those calling for a 50 basis point rate cut next week should take a look back at January 01, September 07, when the Fed started cutting cycles with 50 BPS move. The Fed feels the need to go big because of a weakening economy. That's not bullish. Remember, I covered yesterday that what's her face, Elizabeth Warren, Pocahontas, is out there with other congressmen begging Jerome Powell for 75. 75 means the economy is dead. We're going down fast. If Powell, with what we just saw with inflation and where we're at in our economy, if he gives in and does 75, this thing is going to get real ugly real soon. You see right here, here's what S&P did after these big rate cuts. This is 07 is actually pretty close to where we're at, because we're at 530 right now, 525. So they cut 50, we'd go down to 475 again. And look what happened in 07 with the recession, which I would say the economy right now is worse than it was in 07 before the 08 crash. And this is what happened. 1 year later, 19% down, S&P 500. 2 years later, 26% down, then 21%, then 13% before rebounding in year 5. I think that could really happen. I really do. If with this, I don't know when this melt up ends. I know, was it XRP in here just said, where are you, man? 620 still? He's still believing for that? Listen, I don't think we see that. I really don't. But 75 would be crazy. But I do think we see this, where after we've finished this melt up, whenever it is, whether it ends tomorrow, October, November, whatever, once that turnaround happens, I do think we're going into 2-3 years of a down market. Maybe it rebounds faster. Maybe we get Trump in, he unleashes manufacturing and oil, and it turns around in 18 months. To me, that's best case scenario. But I definitely think the downturn is coming here soon, which means all kinds of crazy stuff. It means short squeezes. It means awesome buying opportunities. It means everything will get cheaper, but it also means a lot of people are going to lose jobs. And that's the down part. So hopefully it doesn't spike inflation. That's what we need to pray does not happen. Hero says finger jumped early, hoping for a big day. I know, we'll get our day. Got 5 million RNVA, Zach. Oh man. Shogun, what are the chances of 75? I'd say it's less than 5%. I think it's very low. Elizabeth Warren is totally a clown. Hero. The one, what it do, buddy? What it do? All right, so that's where we're at with the rate cuts, guys. I think we get 25. If I'm just gonna make my own personal guess, I think we get 25. Can't hear me? Is anybody else having trouble hearing me? Refresh. If only one person's having trouble, it's usually your computer. So refresh. But I think tomorrow 25. That's what I think is going to happen. And the reason is because inflation came in a little bit hot, and with inflation coming in a little bit hot the other day, Powell is not going to want to make a big move. Sound is great, says Eric. So if you guys, yeah, okay, thank you. Yeah, just refresh if you're having issues. So, okay, thanks, Thomas. You guys are confusing me, man. Anyways, but yeah, 25, that's what I think will happen, with a caveat. I think if he gives into some pressure, like with what Congress just did, I think there will be a middle ground where he maybe compromises with 50. And that's a maybe. So we'll see. Zachariah, that'd be messed up. But I can see my sound is recording, so yeah. You guys do that. Have fun with that. Enjoy that. All right, you guys ready? That's the rate cuts. I think the stock market's going to start heading down before election. I think the economy is going to start heading down before the election. I think they start declaring recession by October, and we'll see. We'll see if I'm right. And I think there might be a black swan event of some sort, whether it's a bank failure or something. I do think that's all coming in the next 5-6 weeks. I could be completely wrong. I could be off of my timing. I really don't think I'm off that it's happening though. But we'll have to see what happens. Maybe it's the election that triggers it. So what's my price prediction on DJT if Trump wins? If it doesn't, on DJT, if it doesn't have a full-on short squeeze, but it just has a run because he wins, I think it's very possible DJT springs back up into that 50-60 range. DJT's done it several times before. It moves very fast when it moves up. And that yeah, I think that's happening. Ocean says she would not be surprised if there's no rate cut. I would be very surprised, Ocean. This is why. Because in the last speech Powell gave last month, he said, and I quote, "It's time for a policy change. We've reached the point." He alerted the market rate cuts are coming, and he's done nothing since to tell him it's not. Because of that, because Powell, just like I showed you, that the Fed likes to communicate. All right. Forward guidance since the early 2000s. This is the Fed's policy. This is how they do things since the early 2000s. I do believe Powell is going to stick with what he said, and there'll be a cut. I just don't think it's going to be a very big one. So nice, Zach. Tom, super blood moon tonight, kicking off the crazy. Is it a blood moon tonight? I didn't know that. That's wild. Hero, hopefully no more assassination attempts. I know that I don't think there will be. That, I mean, at least that we know of. Ficus, I think if he does a 25 cut, he'll be super dovish when speaking, so as it appease the market's going for. I think you're right. But I also think he'll issue a warning that something like, we're going to be monitoring the data very closely to make sure there's no spike in the inflation, because that's his biggest fear. If inflation goes bad and starts rising fast again, we're in trouble. We're in really trouble. And I think we're in trouble no matter what. This talk of a soft landing is, in my opinion, complete and utter nonsense. I think they are sitting around singing Kumbaya, trying to pretend things aren't as bad as they are. But the jobs are not turning around. It's just not going to happen. It's that ship has sailed until we get major policy changes. The government money is starting to hit the end of its productivity and what it's creating. And so all of that is starting to super slow down. And one of the reasons is because the Democrats, since it's election season, they've had to actually kind of pretend that they're responsible because everybody's watching them now. And so because of that, everything they're doing is behind the scenes. It's just not stimulating the economy as much as it did before. But they're also running out of money. We're about to see, I mean, there's a budget deal right now. And the Republicans did attach the SAVE Act to it, which means there's a small chance they pass the SAVE Act in the budget, which would make it so where they basically have to check if you're legal or not to vote. I don't think it's going to happen. I think they're going to cave because Mike Johnson is a coward. Thomas Massey's already saying he's going to cave. But, we can hope. There's other Republicans, though, that have come out and said they're willing to shut the government down if it doesn't pass. And wouldn't it be, we saw Biden wearing a red MAGA hat last week, a Trump hat. Wouldn't it be just the funniest thing ever if that budget with the SAVE Act in it somehow gets passed and Biden signs it because he's just saying F you to Kamala? That would just be awesome. But I doubt it. I give it a less than 1% chance of happening. But hey, you never know. He might be willing to do it at this point. Thomas Dubois says, hire ex-military Green Beret or SEAL teams to provide security detail for Trump. Yeah, a lot of people have been bringing that up. What's up, BM Pro? Steve Bernard says the win is near. I hope so. Jake Neville says TD Jakes was Diddy's spiritual mentor. I've heard a lot of bad things about TD Jakes in recent years. I haven't seen proof on any of it yet, but there's whispers for sure. Adventure says, can they do a rate cut outside of FOMC meeting? The answer is no, except, well, the answer is no. They won't do it. They won't do it outside of a meeting. Now, what they could do though, and they've done it very rarely in the past, but it does happen. They could call an emergency FOMC meeting and move it up. But other than that, there'll be no cuts outside of the meetings. They like to give it time to see what it does in the economy. So they'll make a change and then they'll see what happens. And that's why they always do it within a month, 2 months later. Yeah, Johnson will probably cave, Preston. I agree with you. But we can hope. Zachariah, did Biden really carry that Trump hat on the Air Force One? I heard it was a different hat, but it sure looked the same. What's up, Gary? Good to see you, man. All right, speaking of debauchery, let's go on to the Diddy stuff here, because this is some wild stuff coming out. Now, the Diddy stuff started coming out about a year ago, and that's when he ran off out of Miami and everything and tried to escape. And anyways, but he's finally been caught. And now there's just more and more stuff coming out, but we know that he was filming people. We knew the Cuba Gooding Jr. stuff, the court cases with the horrific testimonies from the people suing him, the women, and it's craziness. It's absolutely craziness. But he's finally busted now. And this is where we're going to start seeing if I mean, the fact this happened before the election, 6 weeks to go in the election, it's very interesting. The timing is very interesting because I think there could be some interesting side stuff that comes out because of this. Stella, I've gone down that road before. Yeah, it's craziness. It's absolutely craziness. Malcolm, how much would a large rate cut help Kamala? I don't think it'd help her at all, but there is a chance it would provide a temporary stimulus. A chance. But here's the thing with a rate cut. When there's a rate cut or a rate hike, the actual effects take time. It's not instantaneous. The only thing that's instantaneous is what the market does based upon it. And that's the only, as far as the rest of the economy, it'll have no effect on the rest of the economy or minimal effect on the economy for about, there's a lag effect of about 12 to 18 months. So it wouldn't help her that much. It's more about the message it sends. So anyways, here he is, P. Diddy, Puffy, Sean Combs, whatever you want to call him. First arrest since his accusations of human trafficking and hidden camera honeypot operations. He's basically been the entertainment version of Epstein. Epstein hitting up the politicians. Diddy's been hitting up the entertainment world. Several actors, almost the entire music industry has some connections to him. And Stella, I've looked up John of God before. Yeah, I've talked about that. Yeah, he's disgusting. Got hit a long time ago. So, but here's some of the craziness. Okay, this is from Jesse Waters tonight on Fox. By the way, Jesse's one of the good ones. He's one of the few I still think on Fox are decent. But this is some of the highlights of what he says tonight. What we learned could bring down the entire music industry. Now, I'll tell you right now, the Diddy stuff has been, he's so prevalent in the industry. And I can tell you that I know firsthand accounts of people who've been in the industry in, it doesn't matter whether it's rap, hip hop, rock and roll, country, really got infiltrated in the last 25 years, and even Christian music. Okay. Not like independent worship album labels, but the Christian music industry. And over the years, we've seen several leave the industry as a result, whether it was the Hawk Nelson guy, Jars of Clay, Creed, whatever, for a while. Creed came back. But the point is that this sickness has infiltrated the entire music industry. It does not matter what genre. If it's coming out of Nashville, if it's coming out of Hollywood, odds are there's some dark stuff going on behind it. Not saying every artist, that's not what I'm saying, but the music execs for sure, almost all of them are completely corrupt. And so this could start unraveling that. You know, we saw the Hollywood stuff really start to unravel with Weinstein, and it's only been continuing to unravel since then. Well, here we go here. Creed is Christian, Eric. They are. They never were official about it, but they're very Christian. You should hear what Scott Stapp's saying now on stuff. But yes, Creed was Christian. They just weren't officially Christian label. But anyways, they were close to that industry. Do I think the videos that Diddy has will reveal Democrat supporters? Oh yeah. But listen to this real quick. They're going to throw the book at him, offer him a deal. Diddy's facing 30 to life in prison. I think this guy will sing. If you didn't go to Diddy's freak off parties, there were consequences. He'd threaten your career. Release the blackmail he collected. Diddy collected 15 plus years of blackmail, tracked everyone's location he had blackmail on. Judge denied his $50 million bail request. That's huge. That's a massive bail for them to deny. Absolutely crazy. Diddy's freak-offs parties were an open secret in the music industry. How many others were involved? How many music execs? If Diddy flips, he could take the whole music industry down with him. Think he'll sing? I think he is. Dude, he's freaking... I mean, this guy... I don't think Diddy is a tough dude. I think he's a total coward. I really do. I think he's... Some words I can't say here on YouTube. But it rhymes with maggot. And I think he's totally, this guy does not want to face hard time. He's lived the cush life for the last 30 years since he discovered Notorious B.I.G. and blew up his label and used Biggie. He has been just one of the richest guys. He was one of the first billionaires in rap. He's been living that cush life. In my opinion, there's no way he doesn't sing. So, does he get Epstein? That's the question, right? So Preston says, how many bets on how long until he's unalived? Exactly. He did it. I like that, Oscar. Elegant says, we all want the Fed to shock the market, get potential squeezes, but it won't happen. I feel like 25. Yeah, I think you're right, Elegant, but it still could be enough. Fernando, you keep thinking Trump has many work in the background because stuff keeps dropping. Right? I agree with you. I think that's very true. Stuff started years ago, Clive did. Well, it has been going on for years. There's always been shady stuff in Hollywood and the music industry going back since the beginning. If you guys want a messed up movie that'll also really show you the truth of Hollywood, even going back to the 20s and 30s, watch the movie Babylon. It's a fantastic movie. Brad Pitt, Margot Robbie, one of the best directors in Hollywood. I can't believe they even released it. Came out about 3 years ago. Fantastic movie, but seedy and horrifying because it shows the dark underbelly of Hollywood. And that's been going on for a long time. But it wasn't everybody. It wasn't fully taken over until Hollywood really started in the 80s and the music industry really started in the 90s, where it really started getting into everything. And now it's like there's very few left who are free of that influence. I should have called him Diddley instead of Diddy. Tokram says I used to play Creed on a Christian radio station. Yeah, I mean, Creed had some bangers for sure. Back it. Darren, I like that. Thomas, if he doesn't sing 10 to 1, he'll rap. He'll be like, listen, the only way I can tell my story is to flow. That's funny. That's really funny. Moody in the house. Stella, it's all tied together. Oprah, Handler, Harvey Weinstein, Allison Mack, Nexium, Epstein, Spirit. I agree with you. Yeah, there's a lot all together. Butter says, if I think DJT could hit 50, 60 without a squeeze, what do you think a squeeze might look like? I think a squeeze in DJT is easily 500 plus. I really do. Ask him if he believes in Q. You mean Diddy? Even Shirley Temple was a victim? Yes, I know. It was terrible. Very terrible. Al, I agree with you mostly. There's every once in a while, though, there's something that breaks through. P. Diddy probably drove a low-key Prius. I don't think so. That's not really big in the rap industry, but that is a funny thought. All right, see, here's another one. For those who don't know, Diddy was running a honeypot blackmail operation like Epstein. The only question is who was above Diddy? Who is he feeding the intelligence to? Given CIA are neck deep in these kind of operations, pretty safe to assume they knew. Given Diddy's been extremely vocal and influential asset for the Democrat Party, there it is. Safe to say where his loyalty lies. Diddy was an intelligence asset. Mission obtained blackmail for deep state exchange for fame and riches. Sold the soul of the devil. Don't let the Democrats dissociate from Diddy. And here, look at him with Obama. Here, let's just...
For me, sir.
I'm Barack Obama. I'm the U.S. Senate candidate from the state of Illinois.
And you becoming a black Democratic senator, this is a big deal. This is a big deal.
Well, absolutely. You know, we've got 100 U.S. senators from across the country, and right now not one is African American. So part of what we hope to do is to break that barrier, make sure that African Americans, Latinos, more women are included in the process, because the U.S. Senate makes decisions about a lot of stuff, war and peace, what we do with our tax dollars, etc.
And the reason why I'm bringing up that's a big deal because it's proof.
Access to Obama just by being cool. You know, I just, that's not how this works. That's definitely not how this works. How about this one? You guys want some more fun? Here's Kamala back in 2020. Thank you, Diddy, for hosting the town hall last night. A lot at stake for our communities right now. It's critical we bring the forefront coronavirus is perpetuating. Are you kidding me? This is all that matters, though. Huh. Diddy hosts a town hall and Kamala shows up. Huh, that's funny. Interesting, huh? I'm telling you, I don't think this tweet's going to be up much longer. So screenshot it now, because I think this is going bye-bye. But because she does not want this out there right now. This is all going on. But here, let's, it goes outside. What's this? LeBron James? Here, let's hear him talk about how fun Diddy's parties are.
Oh, hey, everybody know ain't no party like a Diddy party, so.
Yeah, that's what's up. Yeah.
Ain't no party like a Diddy party, huh, LeBron? Oh my goodness. I'm telling you, this is going to be big. Can you imagine? I mean, it's one thing if the Democrats go down. We got it. We know what they're involved in. We're just waiting for that final nail in the coffin. Again, the timing on this, you cannot plan this better. There are now 6 weeks, almost 7. No, 7 weeks from today. Excuse me. 7 weeks. Diddy busted. Diddy tied to all these people. Major Democrats all around. Right before 7 weeks before the election? Are you kidding me? What revelations are going to be coming out of this? Even the optics are terrible here. It just keeps going. And then it just keeps going on. You imagine the repercussions if LeBron James goes down? Like, listen, like him or not, I don't like him. One of the biggest stars in the world for the past 20 years. But hey, don't leave out Hillary. You can never leave out Hillary. Because Hillary, look at them hugging. Oh, they're such good friends. Barack, Hillary, Kamala, LeBron. Are you kidding me? This is fun. We're having a good time, aren't we? He's out there promoting Democrats, trying to get them elected. I'm sorry, but there's no coincidences here. There's no coincidences here. Diddy got pictures with everybody, okay? So it's not the pictures alone that show it. It's not the pictures alone. It's what you're seeing in the pictures. It's what you're hearing, and it's what he's supporting. That, my friends, is what we're looking at. It's not just the pictures. I'm sure you could find a picture out there where Trump shook his hand or something like that. You could find pictures with him and everybody. Diddy knew everybody, just like Epstein. Except Diddy did it in front of all of our faces. Let me catch up on some of your guys' stuff real quick. Jay-Z's probably involved too, I agree. Yeah. What if Diddy had a vid of Kamala again? Oh, that's dirty. Is Taylor Swift blackmailed? Yes. 100%. In fact, you can see in Taylor's career the second she changed. Taylor, I still say some of her early songs were good. I like some of her earlier music, especially on the countryside. Her first pop album, you could say, is one of the best pop albums of the last 25 years. That's not saying a lot because there's not a lot of pop albums, but it's good. But after her second pop album came out, she lost everything. That was when the media turned on her. Her career was heading straight down. And you know what she did? A year or so later, she started endorsing Democrats. She started in her state. She did a thing. She endorsed a Democrat. Then she endorsed Biden, did Biden cupcakes. And all of a sudden, her next album took off again. I'm telling you, Taylor was freaked out. Her career was falling apart, and she sold out. And that's what happened with her. I'm almost 100% on this, because you can see to the moment when she's going down, everybody turned on her. She's not popular anymore. Boom. Starts supporting Democrats, and her career takes back off. It's like that. It's just like that. What's up, Candace? Good to see you. Puffy gave You guys are bad. I can't even read half these. It's so bad. Darren says Denzel said he had to leave before the devil shows up at the party. Exactly. Denzel is one of the good ones. He is. One of the people who kept his soul despite working in Hollywood for so long. Toe cramp. Crimes against children unite humanity. Exactly. Yep. Just Mike quote me now. Oh, they'll go down eventually, Darren. It's going to happen. Trust me. There's too much of a wave building. Al, you should have seen Piss Diddley hugging Bill Clinton. Guess who was holding this car? Really? I haven't seen that one. They're all satanic, says Coopers. AC, what's up? Shogun, timing crazy, especially Trump announced his stance on trafficking. Exactly. Yeah. The guy who got offended by me drinking. I don't even remember that. What's up, Alan? Nick, you're waiting for the finger dividend. We can spark the... it's coming. AC, all this craziness, Trump assassination, Biden replacement, Diddy, etc. Seems like God truly handled this. Yeah, I mean, I don't know about the Biden replacement yet as far as like actual, but there's definitely something we could come out there. Yeah, Toe, that's him. That's my buddy. He talks every once in a while. I might have him call in later. Tay sold. Yeah, I'm telling you, it's crazy how this stuff goes. Oh, you were kidding about the cigar. Okay, Al. You got me, man. You got me there. All right, let's keep going. Look at these buddies. I mean, happy peeps, huh? That's 2 times in his career. So Diddy's there in 2004. That's what we first saw when Obama was just a new senator in Illinois. By the way, one of the first senators in America in Illinois in 2004, before it was cool, working to get partial birth abortion made legal, and which is disgusting. But that was Obama in 2004. That was Diddy there with him then, and this is Diddy with him after presidency. You know, I don't know. You keep coming back around. Something's going on there. Just saying. Where's Obama's right hand? Between 2 pillows. Come on. Those aren't pillows. Anyways, this Diddy stuff's huge. I'm not saying we should have major expectations out of this. For one thing, you know, we gotta, if anything is going to come public out of this, well, it's not guaranteed, but if we really want to make sure stuff comes out of this, we have to get Trump in, and we're going to, but that is going to keep coming. Okay. That Trump is going, you know, he already committed on the Lex Friedman podcast to release the Epstein list. So Trump is going to be out and stuff, especially now he's got RFK over there. Okay. RFK came in, and RFK is getting that CIA stuff out about his dad, his uncle. It's all getting released this time, guys. It's all getting released this time with Trump. It's going down. I'm telling you right now. So this is the next part. And Weinstein, by the way, he got let off by a appeals court a few months ago. Guess what? He's under a new indictment. So they're getting Weinstein back in there. All of this stuff. How crazy is it? This is all happening at the same time, right before the election, right in time for it to be fresh in our minds. And the election happens, and if Trump gets in with RFK on his team, and it just starts coming out because there's nobody holding back anymore, Trump doesn't care. He doesn't have to run for election again. He now has the excuse that they've gone after him for 4 years with the lawfare, with the assassination attempts. Trump's going to get in this time. Last time he didn't do it, which I actually, looking back, I think was wise. I think if Trump had released everything the first time around, it would have made it much harder for him to get the next 4 years. And knowing what we know now with the cheating and COVID and everything, I just think things would have been a lot crazier. The fight in the country, the tearing apart of the country would have been much worse. So he played it perfect by waiting. Or maybe it was maybe Trump didn't know it. Maybe it was just God's fortuitousness. I don't know. But this is the right timing for all this to really have the biggest effect going forward. Toe cramp. Everything is a slow drip for now. Public has to be able to digest it. I agree. But it is getting faster, like Eric says, too. Just Mike says Diddy's files will never see the light of day. I disagree. I think Trump gets in. We do see it. I really do. Shogun, they must be panicking. There was a question some Twitter influencer released what we think if we make RFK head of CIA. Your thoughts? He won't be head of CIA. I just listened to a podcast with him and Tucker that he just did a live show with Tucker Carlson. And Tucker asked him, what is going to be your place in the Trump administration? And he said, number one, he said to get rid of the deep state. He said, number two, get back the health of our children. So what I actually think RFK is going to be is Trump's either going to appoint him to be like the head of the NIH, CDC, FDA, something like that, or Trump's going to create and just let him free float and use him to be staffing everything, overseeing certain projects, maybe overseeing all of what's going on in the health industry, as well as making sure all these documents get released. I don't think RFK will be head of CIA. That would tie him up too much in one thing. And RFK's heart, after he exposes all this stuff, his heart, if you hear him talk about it, you know it's true. His heart is the health stuff. He really wants, and he said this, which was really heartfelt when he said it. He said he'd been praying that God would give him a chance in his life to help America's children get healthy again. That is his number one. And so everything else comes secondary after that to RFK. And I think Trump knows that, and that's where Trump's going to use him for. So, but I bet you this, though. I bet you RFK has a say. He's already on the transition team. Him, Tulsi Gabbard, Don Jr., J.D. Vance, all these awesome people are going to be working together to make sure there's no deep staters in the transition team and all the staffing. And so RFK is going to be having a say over the new CIA director. Maybe we get something crazy like Kash Patel or something like that. You know, you never know, but it's going to be good. Hope everybody in America cares about their lawns. Jake, that's funny. Kamala, mark safe from another interview. Trump always said we caught them all. Exactly. They know. Thomas Yuka app for health. Yeah, that's a good app. I've seen that. Director of Disease Control, RFK. And he could do that. Yeah. Oh, yeah, and Elon, too. Exactly. Oh, it's the best dream team ever. Dan Bongino, head of Secret Service, would be awesome. What's up, Ryan? How's Colorado treating you, buddy? All right. Let's keep going. All right. So, Diddy stuff. Let's see where it goes. But I'm telling you, that's crazy. I already showed you guys Kamala, Hillary, Barack Obama, LeBron James, all with him, and there's obviously hundreds more. So it's going to get wild, and all this before the election. Wild. But anyways, we got to get this spread because we got to keep this POS out of office. Can you believe this guy? This guy makes me absolutely ill.
I think we need to push back on this. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech, and especially around our democracy.
The fact that a candidate in a national election in America can say something like this and get away with it makes me physically ill. There's no guarantee to free speech on misinformation or hate speech. Are you kidding me? If that's not true, then there's no free speech at all. Free speech is for the speech we don't like. Otherwise, we wouldn't need it in the Constitution. This is disgusting, and this is against the very first amendment. And he's just outright saying they'll change it. So, anyways, if you guys aren't realizing yet, and I know most of you do, but there might be a few watching who still do not see this as being the most important election of our lives, and that's not hyperbole this time. This time it is true. And even though I've heard that every election in my life, this time it is true. Because this time it's America or bust. And so there's nothing the same after this one. We either go back to building America better than ever, or we lose it completely. That's where we're at. These are the most disgusting people. They're disgusting. And it just makes me sick seeing this. But in other words, guys, we have to do everything we can. Now, the good news is more and more good news keeps coming out. Ignore the polls right now, the averages, because they don't matter. I told you that would happen after the debate. But what's really going on is much more exciting.
Mark, thanks for coming back. I saw you posting.
Rasmussen's pollster, his polls, which Rasmussen, I've shown you guys, they're in the top 3 most accurate from the last 2 elections. Okay. His polls are showing Trump surging. Trump +2 is bigger than he's ever done in all of our polling at this point in the election cycle. Ever done. Trump +2 in mid-September. Better than he's ever done. 2016 or 2020. The Kamala Harris campaign must be sweating and begging for an act of God right now. That's what's going on behind the scenes, people. Don't pay attention to all these other things. Morning consult poll, all this, it's trash. They're lying to us. But there's a couple pollsters doing good work out there. Rasmussen, Atlas Intel, Barris, and they're doing the real work. Diddy got the freak off idea from the Obama too. Oh, you're good, Toe. It happens. Stella, Lord, that is free speech. You don't always agree with other speech. Exactly. Yeah. Hope Diddy gets a plea deal and squeals on everybody. I agree on you. Yeah. Thomas. What? You guys are so weird sometimes. Anyways, but it's not just that. We saw today Pennsylvania registrations are going through the roof for Republicans. They've changed almost 300,000 since 2020 in favor of Republicans. You know how much Biden won Pennsylvania by? Like 30,000 votes. And so now 300,000 have switched to Trump. That's to Republican. That's unbelievable. And you know how much they had to cheat to pull off Pennsylvania in 2020? Trump was ahead by like 300,000 votes at one point. That's where the biggest cheat was. That in Georgia, I think. That's where the biggest flips were. And now we're way further ahead than that, and they don't have the cover of COVID. I'm telling you guys, I feel better about this every day. Trafalgar Group and Insider Advantage recent polling. Trump +2. NC, Trump +2.4. AZ, Arizona 1.6. Georgia 1.7. This is nuts, guys. This is way ahead of where Trump was polling in 2016 when he won, in 2020 where, you guys know what happened there. So Hogan says, will be Trump versus Harris on the ballot in November. Hogan, at this point, 100%. The only way it will not be at this point, Hogan, is if one of them dies. It's too late. Today was the last day they could have switched it because early voting is now officially started in Pennsylvania, of all places. So it's started. They're on the ballots. The voting's going on. The only way it changes between now and then is a death. That's it. They can't switch out a candidate anymore. So sorry, guys. That's a ding win for me, though. No Michelle Obama. I told you guys forever. I've been saying it since last year. But no Michelle Obama. We won't be seeing her. at this point with Waltz up there, they would have to kill Kamala and Waltz to replace him. That's not going to happen. Just not going to happen. So it's going to be Kamala, and it's going to be a loss, to tell you right now. So they tried to get Trump off of it by killing him. Not working. So yeah, there's not going to be any more changes. They did the one change, and that was all they could afford. They used all their political capital to pull that one off, and they picked the wrong person. They picked Kamala. I just cannot believe they thought she was the one. And there's a lot of speculation out there, and I think behind the scenes, little whispers, that was a lot of Democrats' last pick, but Biden did it to spite them. He announced her as a successor and endorsed her as he was leaving before the Democrats wanted him to do it, especially Obama. And I think Biden set them up to lose, which is hilarious. It's just the best. Imagine saying, we get to thank Joe Biden for this loss. It makes me very happy. Malcolm, do I think there's hope for Trump in Virginia? I do. And the reason I do is because the governor passed an executive order to do only paper ballots. So there's going to be a trail of the voting, and that severely negates their ability to cheat. There's still some ability to cheat, of course, but yeah, I think there's actually a very high chance Virginia goes to Trump. Virginia's not polling that far ahead for Kamala, way less than it did for Clinton and Biden. I think the most recent poll had her at plus 10, which, it's hard to overcome, but not impossible, especially because several states in the past, the battleground states, the polling was way more off in the states than it was nationally. We're talking like 11-point misses, 12-point misses in some of the states. So, Ficus, any word on ABC whistleblower supposedly is proof they gave Kamala the debate questions? I haven't heard anything new, except that I heard that maybe they died in a car crash, but I couldn't see anything to validate that. So I haven't heard anything new. Toe cramp, any guesses on how much lower DJT goes? No. I was 15 was about as low as I thought it could go, and so I don't know if it gets lower than that again. Eric, remember when Florida was a swing state? Yeah. Isn't that wild? Phil Zill, Governor Balls is a huge tool. Him, the mayor of Minneapolis, have ruined the Twin Cities. Criminals run the streets. That's what I've heard. It's terrible. Obama picked Kamala because she'd be a good puppet. I thought that at first, Eric. It's not true. Obama was mad they picked Kamala, and that's why he was the last to endorse her. I think he originally wanted her back in 2020. But then when it became how unpopular she is and what a moron she is, Obama lost favor with her. And that's the more recent behind the scenes stuff that's been coming up. So you're right as of 2020, but that I believe that changed. Al, regarding Trump, I hope third time's the charm does not hold true, right? Oh, Tim Walz's wife, don't get me started. All right, Rum Dog, have a great night, man. Good to see you. Alan, something always bothered me. If you support abortion, then how can you say anything about other children like teachers or camps or borders? I mean, yeah. AC, I know you go over all this all the time. I like to be reassured. Do you think Trump can win Michigan? Yes, I do. I think it'll be very close. But listen, he won Michigan in 2016, and Kamala's not as popular as Clinton. Trump's way more popular than he was in 2016. The only way they pull off Michigan is because it's a blue state by a crazy governor, and they might be able to cheat enough to pull it off. That's the only reason I think he'd lose Michigan. But if they can't cheat very much, then he wins Michigan. It depends on how much they're able to get away with. And I think it'll be close. I really think it's going to be close. Your dog ate your homework and an immigrant ate your dog. I like that. Mr. Ed seeks asylum. What is this Mr. Ed stuff? You guys are crazy. Why do I believe CNN actually fact-checked Kamala in the last week? That's interesting, Malcolm. I talked about that the other day. I think CNN's turning on her because they know she's a loser. I really do. And they're starting to try to plan for what they're going to do next. So check this out. Speaking of,
we had like that. So much fun. But what was really incredible is in every single restaurant of the people willing to talk to us, we could only find one Harris supporter in every restaurant. And we left no stone unturned. I approached every single person. We had like that. So much fun.
If CBS is going out there trying to find Kamala voters and they can't find them, you know they have a problem. You know Kamala has a problem. I'm just saying, like, I saw this and I thought this was one of the funniest things I'd seen in a while. And then Trump's out there saying he's never seen spirit like this before. And this is his third race. So I definitely think, I really do. I think he's going to win this one, guys. I feel it in my gut. I feel very strongly about this. And all the other reasons I've said over the past months. I think we're going to win this. It's going to be a fight. It's going to be ugly. They're going to pull all kinds of chicanery, but they've made too many mistakes at this point, and Trump has just gotten too popular. So I think we pull this off. Let's talk stock. I'll talk a little bit in a minute, Nicole. I started off the show talking stocks. Immortal, we're here for life-changing money. Amen. Al, you're having fun. Holding a lot of manipulated stocks you firmly believe will prevail after Trump's elected. It's very possible. What stocks are expected to do well this election? Who knows? I mean, I think DJT would have a big one because of Trump. But as far as other stocks, it's very difficult to tell. Very difficult to tell. And the reason is because we don't know what's going to go on the market. The rate cuts are just now happening. And we don't know what the effect of that's going to be. We don't know if the market will be tanking by the election, in which case the only stocks really going to soar are going to be highly shorted stocks where the shorts are having to bail out because they're trapped. And that's very possible. That's what happened. And so in that case, it's the stocks we've been following: Finger, GDC, DJT. If the market's fine by the election, which I doubt, but it's possible. I don't know. I mean, manufacturing stocks, maybe they're going to be really excited Trump's coming back. Maybe some of the car stocks, knowing that he's going to bring back American vehicles and put the tariffs on everything else. But the other thing is the market is going to play it safe for the first couple of weeks, because I think what's going to happen, I think there's going to be an overwhelming Trump victory, but then there's going to be a Democratic fight to try to prove it was rigged, something like that, to try to get the electors to change. There's going to be something the Democrats are going to do after Trump wins to keep him out of office. And I don't know how the market responds to that. Good night, Eric. Have a good one, man. I did see Cuomo apologize to Trump. That's pretty huge. CBS needs to check all the Yale school buses for... No, I know, Thomas, I get your Mr. Ed quote. I remember Mr. Ed. I used to watch it with my dad on Nick at Night when I was a kid. I'm Mr. Ed. Can I turn the audio on the videos down a lot louder? I'm sorry, Ronald. It's really hard to know because each video that comes out on Twitter is always different audio. And some of them are so short, I don't know how loud it is. But I'll try to watch my balance it's hard for me to tell how loud it is for you guys. So I'll try to watch my balance and keep it within a certain range. Malcolm Devers, do I believe Trump should do another debate? No. I think his strategy of not agreeing to another one is actually better. No, I don't think it has anything to do with focusing on the VP debate. I think his strategy of not taking another debate is actually pretty smart because in my opinion, he's the only one who has something to lose. Kamala came out, showed that she can at least lie, and he's not going to get a favorable setting because they won't do Fox News or anything Trump asks. And so he's taken 2 debates already. Both debates, he agreed to their rules, their setting, and he showed up. And if I've shown you with the undecideds, he did this debate, and all it did was make more undecideds go for him, but it also created a news cycle that gave Kamala positive attention, which she's already losing. She didn't get a big bump. It didn't really matter that much. But why risk it again getting closer? He's got nothing to lose by just saying, I'm done. And he did it the best way. He said, I won so big. I mean, he did it perfect Trump way. And guess what? Nobody cares that he's not going to debate again. Not one person except lefties. They want it because they want a chance for him to screw up again and keep this media cycle positive for Kamala. So it's actually really wise for him not to debate again. For the one-man wiggle, I don't know that one, no. Cindy Lou, you're in Michigan this past weekend where I saw only a couple Harris signs, lots of Trump signs. I think Michigan is Trump country, yeah. Guilty gunner, undecided voter, enjoy your opinions. Thank you, Guilty. Hey, Guilty, real quick, I can tell you're an honorable, so I'm not going to go after you. I actually would love to know what you're undecided about. And honest, just be honest with me. Just tell me what you're unsure of. Al, you have hope in your thousands of shares of MMAT. I think it's something that will happen eventually there. Yeah. How tall am I? I'm 6'2", Mac. Alan, Harris has to approve the election results. Yeah, she's going to be counting them as vice president. That's pretty scary. Ham for president. You want to see another debate? You can understand why. Yeah, it doesn't make sense for him to do it. Al, if there was a debate with Newsmax where they asked legit and meaningful questions of both candidates, all for it. I'd be all for it. I'd be all for it if they did Fox News and they got the moderators he wanted. He asked for Jesse Waters, Sean Hannity, or Laura Ingraham. I'd be all for that. I'd be all for Megyn Kelly doing it again. Megyn Kelly was great. She goes after both sides. I'm for all that. If Trump wins, will I do a one-man wiggle live? I might, because I plan on drinking that night. Listen, you guys, the party is on that night. Okay, you guys know I'm already got it going. All right, it's going to be a party. I've already got the live planned. I've already got the Trump wins on there. It's going to be a party. Okay. And here, I'm going to share it in the chat so you guys can set your notifications. We're having a party that night. I'm telling you. I got special beer I've already bought that's aging nicely. I'm excited for election night. I think it's going to be awesome. We're going to do it live here, and I'm going to be on all night. I don't care. Toe Cramp, you saw your first Kamala Walsh t-shirts in Costco last week. Guy was a little off, though. Not sure if it was a medical condition or fact that men in Punisher shirts outnumbered 10-1. I mean, the guy was a little off. That had a Kamala Walsh shirt on me. That's all you got to say. Oh, JD Vance is going to wipe the floor with Waltz. I tell you what, with Vance, the longer he's out there, and I love this. I saw Jordan Sather say it the other day. I saw a bunch of other people out there. Everybody's starting to come around on Vance. The more he talks, the more people are like, man, this guy might actually be pretty good. They're all starting to get it. And I'm like, thank you. I was first on that. I said back in March. JD Vance, my number one. Yeah, so I agree with you, Eric. It'd be too close to election day. CJ Yukon, travel this country, Trump signs 20-1. Yeah, I believe it, man. What do I think of the rumors of Walt's connection to CCP? I think there's something definitely there. He's been over there several times, and it's the Congress that's investigating him. It's not like it's just randos. Yeah, I think there's definitely something to that. Even the CNN debate was balanced, yeah. William Broderick, if Trump wins, will I do a charity video with the ape father and do a quick sit down, pop your guys' socks, and do a little splash around? Feet only in a kiddie pool. You'll donate $100. I mean, I'll try. I don't know the ape father, so we'll see. Shogun, everyone started a call to our boss, call it sick after the election. I'm already taking that day off, so I'm taking November 6th off because I'm going to be up all night November 5th. Michael Quintero, they should do one Fox commentary, one CNN or CNBC commentary. I mean, maybe. That'd be interesting, kind of. Do I have concerns they'll refuse to announce the winner? Yeah, small ones. So I think with the election, my personal feeling is not, and just take this for whatever it means, but the guys, I usually get this. I'm pretty good with this election stuff, though, this politics stuff. I actually think Trump's going to win handily. I really do. I think it's going to be so overwhelming that they're not going to have a choice. But does that mean they actually allow it to be said? That's the real question. I think there will be places that call it. I do. I think like Newsmax, OAN, Right Side Broadcasting. I think there will be places that call it. But the main places, ABC, Fox News, CNBC, or CNN, MSNBC, I wouldn't be surprised if they hold off. And so we might get this really confusing time. But I'll tell you what, guys. If you remember in 2020 how much cheating had to happen, how far ahead Trump was before all those votes came in at 3 a.m. I mean, he was way ahead. This time, he's going to be more ahead. And they're going to have less opportunity to catch up because the cheating's harder this time. And so I think they're going to be forced to do it. I do. But we'll find out. Forrest Gump Jr. says, that'll be funny. Donate to charity for that. We'll see. Did I see Biden carrying a red hat? Yes, I did. Vance says the patience of don't dealing with the media. The interview Dana Bash was fantastic. It was amazing. Yeah. Cindy Lou Who, Piano Boys and Nobody. Are you guys talking about Ape Father? I really don't think I've ever watched anything of Ape Father. Patience of a Saint. Oh, okay. I hear what you're saying. I mean, JD is amazing with the media. He is such a good talker. Whitey says, saw a Biden-Harris bumper sticker is from Hawaii. I think he got arrested a couple days ago trying to shoot some politicians. Yeah, I think you're right on that. Toe cramp. Got to give it to me on Vance saying my whisper voice. You were right. Thank you, Toe. The Ape Father called me out. Are you for? Is that for real? Really? When? I feel so bad. I think I've seen Ape Father once or twice, but I don't think I've ever watched his videos. Well, that's nice of him. Very nice. Kamal's doing no text on OnlyFans. Susan, that's terrible, but very funny. That's welcome here. How many gumballs can I choose at once? I don't know. I haven't eaten a gumball in forever. Cindy Lou, guilty, scam artist, piano boy. Okay, so I don't want to get into this. Ryan says, I'm friends with Paul Gazelka from Minnesota. He was House of Representatives. He has a book dropping in days about the real Tim Walz, how bad he really is. Really? A couple days? That's exciting. I like that. Vance is half Jewish, Ariana? No. Are you for real? I didn't know that. American Truther, like I said, first time for everything, first time voting red. Wow. Truther, what was the thing that finally swayed you? Brett, Justin, Waltz picked up Mazengill as a corporate sponsor. Mazengill? I don't know what that is. Hero, they were really close to calling an election for Trump 2020. They were. And they had to hold off because they knew something was coming in. And they needed to see how much it was going to be. But when they called it too close to call and he was up like 4 points in Pennsylvania, and I again, they don't have the cover of COVID this time. So what are they going to use? Because it's only 6 weeks out. At this point, everybody's going to be like, for real, you're doing this before the election? There's been no buildup. It's too obvious. That doesn't mean they won't try some. They might. I think it's going to be World War III they're trying to get us into. But I think Putin's going to hold off. I don't think they're going to be able to goad him in. We'll see. But I think, But anyways, my point is, if they don't get something to stick that's really, really big, major pandemic, World War III, whatever, if they don't get something to stick, they have no cover this time. They have no cover. And without cover, they also have to deal with the fact that Trump is way more popular in 2020. Way more popular. And he got 75 million votes in 2020. The most by an incumbent ever and the most all time if you take away the extra votes Biden got. The extra votes, quote unquote. So you put all that in. And then on top of that, most of the swing states passed laws to make it harder to cheat. So you take a notch of the cheating off right there. Whatever it is, it has to come down a little bit. So cover for cheating, gone. That takes down a little bit. Amount of cheating, gone because of the laws. That goes down a little bit. Need to cheat more. That makes it harder. So take it down another notch. Then you put into the effect of more registrations for Republicans now. That takes it down a notch. You take that the voter rolls, many states have been cleaning them up. That takes it down a notch. Then you take, you add the fact that the RNC has been going after all the states, hammering them with lawsuits ahead of the election this time to make sure everything is as fair as can possibly be, that they can knock out before the election. That takes it down a notch. So I'm telling you right now, this election is 10 times harder to steal than the last one. 10 times harder. Add to that, it's 10 times harder in an environment where 63% of Americans believe something weird happened in the last election and will be watching carefully. I'm just telling you, it's going to be, I will tell you right now, I don't think Kamala can win. Because I think even if they declare her the winner on election night, I think America rejects it. I do. I don't think America will accept it. And we barely accepted it in 2020. I don't think it's going to happen this time. I really don't. Still, the only easier way to cheat would be with the software and the machines. If you know software, you can make it fractions. I know what you're talking about. Yeah. Half Jewish from the waist down. Oh, God. Whitey, they don't have a rhino at the RNC. Exactly. Are they using the same voting machine company? Most states are not. Stella says, Putin's holding off. Trump doesn't win that whole one. I agree with you, actually. Chris McGinnis, what is one thing you're going to do if Trump loses? I don't know. I haven't even thought about it. I'm not even allowed myself to go there. The heck is one man we call it? I don't know. More people MAGA doing early voting? Exactly. Cindy Lou, don't do it. Okay, I'm not saying I was going to do anything. Yeah. Hey, what's up, Buck Dot? It has been a while. Eric, Trump's a 4% of the popular vote, much better in 2020. Yeah, I mean, the polls are way closer than 2020. Way closer. He's even polling better than 2016. Bruce, will there be enough newly elected Congress on January 6th to not certify demos? Yes. The Senate, I think Republicans are going to get 52 to 53 seats in the Senate. 51 is pretty much guaranteed at this point. And so, but I think they sneak off another one or two. So 52, 53 in the Senate. And then the House is almost assured to stay Republican. Almost surely will. So, yeah, they could do it. Yeah, so to not certify is a no. They would have to, because it's going to be Republican led. Hobbs, you arrived. Watch RK talk about health and foods at Turning Point event. Yeah, he's amazing. MAGA will be doing ballot harvesting too. They might, yeah. Diddy used to plug. Oh God, you guys are saying stuff I can't repeat here. Anyways, all right. On that note, guys, I'm gonna call it a night. You guys made me laugh tonight. It was fun. Please like, share, subscribe. I appreciate it. Got a lot of new chatters tonight. That's exciting. I really enjoy the engagement. Thank you guys. But yeah, subscribe tomorrow night. I'm so excited for this. Buzz Patterson is going to be with me. Congressional candidate 2020 for California. Best-selling author of Dereliction of Duty in the 1990s. Served with Bill Clinton as holding the nuclear football. Got all the dirt on the Clintons. He's awesome. So tomorrow is going to be amazing. I'm very excited about it. So show up tomorrow at 9 Eastern. I've already set up the live so you guys can make sure you do not miss it. You can get in early and set the you can set your notifications. Here it is right here. And here is the link. There it is. So yeah, make sure you set your notification for that. It's going to be really good. Yeah, we'll talk about Monica tomorrow for sure. This is going to be good stuff, but that'll be super fun. But on that, you guys have a great night. Let's end in a quick prayer and send it out. So Heavenly Father, thank you for today. God, I pray you bless everybody here. Thank you for all of them. And God, we pray protection over President Trump to make it through the finish line, and that everything would line up for a massive election victory this November. In Jesus' name, amen. All right. Bless you guys. Have a great night. I will see you all tomorrow with Buzz. It's going to be fun.